What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Good morning, or at least for me it's morning, because I just woke up at 11:30 in the morning. We're going to be taking a look today at Unicorn Overlord, a game that I think, I still think has an absolutely ridiculous name. But from what I've seen, I've seen some people play this demo. Let me plug in my controller. I've seen some people play this demo, and it looks really good. Really cool tactics game. It's been compared to, I'm not sure if it's, a full-blown, like, spiritual successor or whatever, for, a game called Ogre Tactics, or that franchise. It's a franchise I know in name only. It's one of those that it kind of, on its surface, it screams, oh, well, we're trying to redo, kind of like, we're trying to fight Fire Emblem. But it's a totally different kind of combat system. It's really interesting, because it's sort of turn-based, but it's almost more of an auto-battler / real-time with pause strategy game. And you'll see once we get into the combat, it's really cool, the way that it works with the amount of control you have over your characters. This game is developed by Vanillaware, a company that I mostly know them for Grim Grimoire, from Grim Grimoire or Grim Grimoire Once More, which was their remaster. I really enjoyed Grim Grimoire, but I totally forgot they also did 13 Sentinels, which was a pseudo-visual novel mech kind of game. It was another really interesting title that got a lot of hype back when it first came out. They really excel in this beautiful 2D art style, and this game is no exception. It's got a very amazing art style once we see it. And this demo is fucking massive. I think it gives you like 8 hours to play the game. Right from the very beginning, data can be carried over to your full playthrough when the game comes out. I want to say it comes out in a week or so. I have to double check the dates. Will we be doing a full LP for this? Quite possibly. But we might start it later in March, just because I already have a good number of series ongoing, and B, just the next couple weeks are going to be busy for me with school and whatnot. So that's all that. I have talked enough. Let's hit new game and get going. Obviously, we're not going to be playing 8 hours. I do not know how long we're going to go into this demo, but I'm going to guess it might be about 2 hours.
I beg you, my queen, take leave of this place while you're still able.
To where, I might ask? Nigh every last of Cornia's lords has forsaken us in favor of the traitor Valmor. No refuge remains for a crowned fugitive. Yet the general seeks my death and mine alone. I shall not flee from that fate. Though you still can, a sole rider with Elaine at your side. Take him, Joseph. Raise that delicate seedling into a sturdy tree capable of weathering the harsh climes that await. And pray safeguard the ring of the unicorn as well. Hold it close to you until Elaine is a man grown. He will have need of the power it bears.
My queen,
Mother? Are they coming for us?
Heed well these words, Elaine. I say this not as your mother, but as your queen. From here forth, You're to treat Joseph's command as...
Anyone else think that the queen here looks like
You understand?
Of course.
Amelie's
Is there something amiss?
VTuber model, Monarch? Anybody who knows the VTuber scene? I was actually sitting here Googling. I was like, is that Amelie? I can't tell.
I only pray it is enough.
It was,
Farewell.
the voice isn't that different.
Why are you just standing there, Joseph? Aren't you going to help her?
Would that I were able, my prince. Come, we've not a minute to spare.
I must take you away with my angular face. How do I... Okay, triangle turns off auto. Bar all exits to the city. The queen is not to leave these walls alive. Our great general reduced to little more than a base traitor. You'll find my head not so easily parted from my shoulders, Valmore. I wonder if you can say the same. Come, everyone. We march this day for Her Majesty Elenia. Elenia? Okay, so unit movement, command them to move across the battle stage, select lane, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is what I meant by it's kind of like real time with pause. So, you have your unit here.
Consider wise.
There we go, triangle. So you can see who's all set up in her little retinue. So we have the queen, you have Hodrick, Renault, Gailey, and Alcina. Ooh, that little, her sprite does not do her justice. Her portrait's really cute. So you're seeing she's a sorceress, sergeant, you know, there's all these classes, and you're seeing he's armored plus a foot, so infantry, he's a knight, so he's cavalry, sorceress, so, you know, there's... From what I've seen, there is some play between, what's the term? There is some play between, okay, so these, what is it, like spearmen are a little better against infantry, and some people are better against other people, but it's not as rock, paper, scissors as, like Fire Emblem does, and how these tactics and actions and everything work. Well, I'll kind of explain it as we go.
No time to falter.
So, you pick them, you're going to move, and... Okay.
Make haste.
There we go. So as they move, the enemy also moves, so it's not just a simple you pick where to go and all that. The enemy actually can kind of march and counter march and everything. You can pause it to declare all your units and tell them, hey, I want you to go here and you to go here. But everything moves around the map in real time. So you can organize before battle. You can do everything from changing equipment, skills, which I guess now is an okay time to talk about this. So, you can get skills through leveling in your class, or I've also seen it where you have equipment also grants skills. But skills fall into 3 categories: active, passive, and valor. Valor, you spend valor points. We'll get into valor points later. But active and passive are your 2 main kind of skills. As you can see around each character, there are 2 little kinds of gems. There's red and blue. Red are active skills, which are used to mostly, you know, perform an active action, and blue are passive, a passive action. So you can see, like Renault here, he has Assaulting Lance, Wild Rush, and Pile Thrust, each with a different cost. And then he has a passive skill, which will also cost one of his passive gems. And they all do something a little different. And then you come over here, look at his loadout. You have the tactics. So he'll either use Pile Thrust or Assaulting Lance, or Quick Guard and Cavalier Call when certain conditions. But eventually you'll be able to set conditions for skills. So say I want him to use Assaulting Lance. He'll use Assaulting Lance, and I can set conditions like attack the one with the lowest HP, or so you can give them. You can give them more specific conditions for their moves. Their passive skills always go off on a certain trigger. So like Quick Guard activates before being hit by a physical attack, which in physical is spelled wrong, but magic is also spelled CK, and it bugs the shit out of me. This one activates before an attack before attacking with an act. As heavy cover. So whenever an ally is going to be attacked, he's going to cover them with a heavy guard, and has a condition. I'm not sure if that means it has to be an infantry unit or what. Again, we'll look more into conditions later. But that's the basic idea of how you can set your do all this stuff before battle. You can set your loadouts, you can set your skills, you can set how you want your skills to actually activate before the fight even starts. And then you go into the battle.
Brace yourself!
Which just, oh my god, is so pretty.
Witness the royal blade!
So you saw he granted her a guaranteed critical. She goes in, makes her attack. He's going to defend.
We shall see our duty through! I trust you! Up, sir!
Go. I must fight on!
So yeah, it works like an auto battler, but you set up the tactics and the way you want their skills to proc beforehand. Again, we'll get more into it as you go. And yes, positioning on this little grid also matters, because I'm not sure if you noticed when we got attacked by one of the units who used a spear, the spear attacks both the front and back line, so positioning does matter. Again, we will get more into it later.
On your guard!
I shall protect you! Does this suit you? Embarrassing. I am your shield. I shall protect you. We strive together.
Ah, man, my favorite thing, it's this beautiful art. It has depth, but also it's so clearly 2D, but it's got such beautiful depth to it.
How's this? Victory is ours!
I love the witch back there. Super pretty. So essentially, the way that combat works, again, while they're proccing skills and everything, it goes until they run out of AP, or the red gems. Once everyone has used all of their AP, so sometimes if you have a character with a lot of AP fighting off against units that have low AP, you'll attack a whole bunch of times. Once all the AP is gone, and all the moves are done, so there can be passive points remaining, but action points have to be gone. Once all that's done, the fight's over. And again, we'll get into what happens if one side doesn't completely die and all that. We'll get into that later, but that's the basic idea of combat.
Caesar!
I like how your armor has a built-in fat stomach. It's my kind of armor.
Enlighten me, Valmor. To what end do you seek to usurp my throne?
Self-centered fool. It's not merely your throne I aspire towards. It's all of them. Zenoira are the rightful sovereigns of Fevrith, and I, the blade to restore our world to its natural order.
You seek to plunge the continent into war. Fevrith need not suffer your delusions.
A proper ruler demands unity, not pointless politicking with insufferable neighbors. Now, I shall achieve that unity through conquest and reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
I would sooner see you slain by my hand!
It's so cool to look at. God, I love this art style.
I promise you, my queen, the royal lineage shall endure. 'Tis but a great shame I couldn't aid you further.
I have a massive issue with his name.
All has gone according to plan, my lord.
Because they keep calling him Joseph. It should be Yosef.
And yet our work only just begins. We stand now at a new dawn for Fevrith, one which will see Zenoira's dominion restored at last. Curious, though, that we've no trace of the old knight's captain.
About that, my lord. A lone cavalry unit was spotted riding through the eastern gate before it was barred.
And the boy is lost to us. A truth obscured only by his mother's futile attempt at a counter-offensive. It would seem I underestimated her penchant for deception.
Year 895 of the Hallowed Chronicle. Claiming himself a scion of the fallen Sonoran Empire, Cordia's once decorated General Valmor rebelled against his erstwhile home at the seat of its monarchy, Gran Corinne. Its queen, Elenia, bold in the face of this staggering betrayal, stood unshrinking as the shield to her son Elaine's safe flight, and mustering what meager forces remained by her side, she rallied a defense as valorous as it was damned. With Cornea's queen lost, care of the young prince fell to her faithful knight, Joseph, who took wing beyond Valmor's wretched grasp to asylum on the Forned Isle of Palavia in the Holy Kingdom of Albion.
Crossover with Fable confirmed.
Proclaiming himself Fevrith's new emperor, Valmor donned a second name, Calarius, and began a relentless onslaught the continent's nations could only but struggle against. Yet each realm's endeavors fell in vain time and again, and ere long Zenoira's final dominion was realized. His blood-soaked unification come to bear, few dared stand against the ironclad fist of Emperor Galerius. Embers of resistance burned on, yet the downtrodden could cling only to furtive hopes of liberation. Desperate prayers, which fell upon deaf ears, night after unceasing night. 10 years have passed since the Shroud of War first set over Cornea.
I wonder if those two are at it again. Well, that takes care of the altar. I suppose I should be getting back.
She is drawn in a very, distinct way. Oh, Atlas, how I love you. I was initially going to just kind of ignore this game. I mean, like, I'd heard some people talking about it, and I'm like, whatever. But then I actually, like, I saw the art style. I saw Atlas and Vanillaware were connected to it.
Damn it!
I'm like, okay, maybe I need to give this another look, and I'm so glad I did.
There's just no stopping you these days. Yet you've grown no less than I have. Still, we could likely train for the rest of our lives, and even then, never manage to best Joseph.
Weird to think he's back on the mainland now. Finally making that Liberation Army thing a reality, huh? Guess that means we'll be going up against Anoira soon.
Indeed it does. The people of Cornea are suffering, Lex. Crying out for whatever help will hear their pleas. Should I turn a deaf ear to those voices, I would have little and less claim to the crown I feel is mine. That, and I owe it to my mother to see them safe.
Well, yeah, but Zenoira's got the whole world in the palm of their hand. How are we gonna fight back against that?
The earth may be theirs, but the heavens will surely favor those who stand for justice.
You got a point there. Sorry for not sounding all too confident. Just make sure you don't take it all on yourself. I'll be with you every step of the way.
Thank you, my friend.
You know I can't do this without you.
Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush.
Yeah, make him turn the same color as his hair.
We're gonna miss lunch if we don't get moving.
Lunch?
I suppose it is that time.
You see something out there?
It's a ship.
Looks like they're flying Zenoira colors, too.
This island is no longer safe. We have to tell the others.
With you there. You head for the cathedral. I'll make sure the town knows what's coming.
Seal off the harbor, and do it quick! Not a soul gets off this island under our watch.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when the 2D models swap direction that they're looking, like go back about 10 seconds or so to when Elaine and Lex were talking. You'll actually see when they change directions, they actually it's really quick, but there's a short frame where they take their where you actually see them swap their shield from one arm to the other. It's a weird detail. I don't understand why you would swap your shield, but because I think it has something to do with how they did the sprites, because essentially the sprites are just mirrored. Well, I don't know. But it's interesting that you actually see them, if you really pay attention, you can actually see them swapping hands with the weapons. It's really short, but it just adds this kind of like natural transition. Like even that guy with the spear, you could see it. Yeah. I mean, you really have to look for it, but it's...
Dispatch the vanguard to the cathedral. And remember, we're to apprehend the target alive.
Understood, sir!
O Heavenly Father, ruler of land and sky above, we pray this day for deliverance from evil. Grant us the meager sustenance to nourish our fragile bodies in the times to come. Guide our lost souls on the path to salvation. Shine down your radiant light upon us, for darkness looms thick through all corners of Fevrith. Such is my request as your humble servant. In the name of the Guardian Unicorn, and that of the Holy Mother.
I don't know why. The Guardian Unicorn just sounds wrong.
How many times must I ask
It just sounds really dumb.
What is the meaning of this?
Well, look what we've got here. Seems we're the first to show.
Rough her up if you want, but don't forget, the girl dies and our heads will roll too.
Such depravity will not go unpunished. Not in the house of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah? Then you'd best get to praying.
She's fast.
Not as fast as us.
What the?
Scarlet, are you hurt?
Only a little shaken, that's all. What's happening to us, Elaine?
A ship has come ashore on Palavian soil. One hoisting the banner of the Zenoiran army.
And are they aware that you're the Crown Prince?
Scarlet, you seem extra jiggly today.
These people are our enemy.
It's the sweater and that dress. How can I not make a comment about it?
My cathedral will see no more bloodshed this day. Come, let's move outside.
Your Highness, it's a relief to see you unharmed.
Hold on. Where's Lex?
He went ahead to alert the town. We best find him and get to the harbor.
Indeed.
It's a really interesting spear design that just keeps drawing my eye.
A ring.
The Ring of the Unicorn. Queen Elenia wished for you to have it. In truth, I had intended to wait till signs of age played more deeply across your face. But we no longer have such luxury. I have the utmost faith you'll see it secured.
A keepsake from my mother. Thank you for this, Joseph. Truly.
Make no further mention of it. Now, let us be off.
You know, you gotta hand it to him. The voice acting's pretty well done. Battle stages are fields where combat and allied units and enemies move in real time. Each battle stage has different victories, yada yada yada. Deploying units for any base flying a blue flag. Okay. So go here to the garrison, deploy Elaine. And then you can pick anywhere in this little circle to deploy. Deploying units consumes 1 Valor point from the gauge displayed in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Valor points are replenished by defeating enemies, liberating towns and fortresses, and more. And remember what I said about Valor skills or whatever a little bit ago? Yeah, you also spend Valor points to use Valor skills. Oh, that was Elaine. Look, there's guys coming over there, blah, 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 blah. Then we know our first aim. We must dispatch the soldiers as quickly as possible. Okay. So we have a bronze sword, Ring of the Unicorn, yada yada yada. I think yes, right here. So we see from her from Scarlet's ribbon. So this is an example of which an ability is granted by a piece of equipment. So that is a thing in this game, which I kind of like. I think it's cool. So she has Holy Light, prioritize armored opponents because armored units are weak to magic. Again, some things are universal. Quick heal activates after an ally is hit. Again, I cannot wait till they let us really look into how that stuff is handled. When an allied unit is encountered, yeah, we can choose the battle, organize, view enemy details. I almost said stats, but I could not come up with the word.
Your villainy ends here.
So essentially we can see the details of the enemy, what they're going to do. House Carl's Bruce are really strong because of Parting Blow. At the end of the battle, they get an extra attack because with their passive point, and Smash drops physical defense by 20. So they're a pretty good unit. Items are pretty interesting in this game, and again, we'll talk about that down the road. But yeah, we really can't do much, so let's just battle it out in this beautiful art style. Battles play out automatically according to various predetermined rules. First, a combat's initiative determines the turn order. When a combatant's turn activates, they will use one of their active skills. Use an active skill consumes action points. Combatants will take turns using active skills in order according to their initiatives. Battle will continue until all combatants run out of AP. Passive skills will trigger automatically when certain conditions are met, such as being hit with an attack. First, Elaine's Noble Guard skill triggered when he is attacked, causing him to protect himself. Using a passive skill consumes PP points. Next, Scarlet's Quick Heal skill triggers when an ally takes damage, thus healing her ally. Finally, the enemy's Parting Blow skill triggers at the end of the battle, performing the additional attack. Which I think this is a pretty good tutorial. It really kind of lays out exactly like how the flow works. Battle will end when combatants have run out of AP, or when all combatants on one side have been defeated. You can also press square to view the battle log. Oh, nifty.
Good.
Oh, if you saw up in the corner, like a little heart thing with Elaine and Scarlet. Yes, there is I believe it's called rapport in this game. It's similar to support from Fire Emblem. But also the cool thing about gaining rapport with units is having them... characters, they are characters in this one, because units is what Elaine and Scarlet are right now. They're it's not like Fire Emblem where each individual character is a unit. In this one, there's characters, and then the unit is a group of characters. But in their little unit, if their rapport is high enough, they get certain bonuses because they're in the same unit together. So it's one of those. It's worth building rapport with units. If neither unit is defeated in a battle, the side with the lower percentage HP remaining is the loser. Upon losing a battle, the defeated enemy is knocked back and enters a waiting state, rendering it immobile for a short period of time. We almost have them, just one more push.
We march. The path is set.
Engaging a waiting enemy unit will grant the attacking unit a first strike. A unit executing first strike will always act first, regardless of initiative.
Come then. A fine job. A fine bout.
Good. All that remains now is to reclaim the town. That's where Lex was headed, right? I hope he's okay. Garrisoning a unit at a time in a town, fort, or other facility will allow the unit to liberate the facility.
The time is at hand. To me. For the liberation.
Liberating facilities will also replenish Valor points and boost your score upon completing the stage. Yes, there is a score, but it's not like S rank or B rank or whatever. It has to do with rewards at the end of the mission. So it actually collecting everything and completing it faster is actually, there are rewards for it. It's cool. Additionally, facilities have been liberated, will serve as bases for the units which can be deployed from. Lex. Hey, sorry about that. They caught me off guard there. But don't worry, everyone's safe. I made sure of it. I knew I was right to count on you, and I'm glad you're unharmed as well. Still wish I could have done more, though. Here, let me scout out ahead to make up for it. Words are hard. If anybody was wondering, yes, being on the road, units move faster, because you can see up there road, and you see speed for infantry and cavalry are faster, and out here in the plains that goes away. Mountains, I guess flying units lose speed. Forest, mounted units lose speed. So yeah, that's a thing.
Ready. You got it.
I like the way they run on the world map. It just looks so derpy. Just what I was hoping for. It's time to show these guys what I'm made of. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that when you're alone.
On it.
But whatever, the game wants me to do it.
You don't stand a chance. Sorry. Damn it.
Oh, and before anyone asks, no, I do not think permadeath is a thing in this game. Damn, I might have gotten too eager there. Lex! No, we'll never make it in time. Allow me, your highness. Different units have different degrees of mobility. The higher the stat is, the quicker they'll be able to get through the stage. Units' combined mobility is determined by the individual mobility stats of its members. And deploy Joseph's unit.
In service of the royal family.
So, again, kind of going over the combat, the way combat works, because Lex got BTFO'd in that fight, he gets pushed back and enters the waiting stance, which means he's open to get attacked again, and because he's by himself and at such low HP, if they first strike him, he's gonna get really hurt. But because they're fast, because these guys are fast, we can move in to protect. I am your foe this day. Prepare to be struck down. When two ally units are in close proximity, one can swap in for the other. Before battle, you see the prediction of how much damage each unit will take. Note how these predictions change when swapping units.
This isn't gonna end well.
As far as I can tell, these aren't guarantees, but they're pretty accurate. Because I'm not sure if it takes into consideration dodges and everything, because I've seen them where it's worked out exactly the way the prediction says, or the forecast says, and then I have seen times where it's off by a little, it says, oh, you'll do 68 points of damage, and you end up doing 70. So I do not know 100% how these forecasts break down.
I am with you!
You see Joseph is...
For the liberation.
He's our beat stick unit. Run away! Lex, are you alright? Somehow, yeah. Sorry for making you worry. You know, it's a miracle you can even put your armor on straight. Here, this medicine should perk you up again. Okay, when a combatant's HP falls to 0, they will be rendered incapacitated. Items and skills can restore HP and revive incapacitated combatants. Hence, there's, again, no permadeath. As far as I understand, there's no permadeath. I don't even think there's a setting for it. Select items from the unit's menu. And you do not have to equip them to specific units. Anyone can, as long as, you know, you, the player, have an item, anyone can use them. I think you're limited to only so many item uses a map or a battle, but beyond that, it's anyone can use anything. Chloe, perhaps you'd be better served watching after Lex directly. I fear he's a bit of a liability on his own. Very much agreed. Called out. No more messing around, Lex. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. Ugh. Now then, this area appears to be safe for the time being. Let's hurry on to the harbor. My word, but that's Hodrick? He and I used to stand as the stalwart pillars of Cornia's defense. What might have possibly changed him? Perhaps, prepare yourself, rebels. Any foolish enough to defy Emperor Galerius must be put to the sword, even though I'm holding a spear. Seems combat is our only way forward. Indeed, ridding the lands of the enemy must be our first and only priority. I swear I can read. No matter who that enemy may be. Okay. Defeat Hodrick. Select multiple units. Move the cursor over. After selecting the desired units, release X and choose the destination. Ordering a unit to move. Will automatically pause the game. The move and item commands used even if the game is paused. Press circle to resume. Okay, and yeah, you can set...
Ready.
You can set kind of relay points. So if I want them to move here, and then move here to get that guy.
Awaiting your command.
And I'm going to send Joseph here to try and bring this guy off his post.
I'll not fail you. By your word. What would you ask? Very well.
Get him.
Come.
If you're wondering what the little numbers on the little flag on the units are,
stand true.
he's going in, just delivering bonks. Excuse me. Yeah, these little things that my cursors are pointing to, those are essentially, again, it's explained later, but those are essentially kind of like a unit stamina. So essentially you can attack, for these guys it's 6, for Joseph it's 5. Essentially they can initiate these guys 6 battles and this guy 4 more before they're going to have to take a rest. And when you're resting to regain that stamina, you are completely defenseless. As in, if an enemy unit comes up to you while you're resting, you take you do not even get to counterattack.
You face me. This one's mine. Come then.
Ow.
Easy now. Light!
And his parting blow is gonna hurt. Oh, no, he misses. Awesome.
I shall hold nothing back.
Okay. I'll take out this unit completely.
Hold fast.
Bonk.
I fight in me yet. A trivial undertaking.
Okay, Lex.
You got it.
Take him down.
Your command. I'll not fail you. As you wish.
Weaken him for me.
Onward.
Take them. Go.
Gaze upon the face of your demise.
It's not what I wanted to do. I should have moved him out and around. I wanted to get the experience for some other units, but I guess that's not happening. Wait, why am I worried about experience? I'm probably not going to carry this data over.
We march. The path is set.
God dang it. Stop getting involved in other people's fights.
The battle is won. A trivial undertaking. Come.
This struggle will only prolong the pain. Accept the mercy of a swift demise.
I fail to understand, Hodrick. What has motivated this shift in allegiance?
Joseph, Cornea's most decorated knight. I shall close the book on your tale myself.
I have you!
Bonk. God, I love this art style. It's so crisp, but also it's so pretty to look at. It's so well done. Such a trivial battle shall never halt my advance. Such firm defenses. Our weapons barely leave a scratch. Perhaps my magic, spelled incorrectly, will work. Leave this to me, Elaine. Hold R2 to fast forward. Fast forward can be used both in stages and during battles.
Awaiting your command.
Oh, cool. They just immediately give him more.
As expected.
Give him more stamina in this fight.
Your villainy ends here. Why are you doing this? You, who once stood as my mother's royal guard.
Enough of your questions, Whelp. Interfere, and I shall see you suffer for it.
Oh, that's right. That also removes all of his buffs. Okay, so you notice how in that situation we got pushed back? That's because he's garrisoned. So if the enemy is a garrisoned unit, they will always push you back even if you win. But if you win, you don't get stunned or put into waiting. So, and also you have to, if you're going to kind of chip away at the boss, note they will heal if they remain garrisoned. There's also something that'll pop up later where you also have to worry about reinforcements coming out of garrisoned points and whatnot. But again, we'll cover all that when we get to those points.
Come then.
Bonk. And magic bonk.
We march on. Another step forth.
And the level screen. So he is a lord, it is a class. As far as I know, there are promotions. Again, it's very Fire Emblem-y. I don't know if Ogre Tactics have the same thing. I've also heard this compared to Final Fantasy Tactics, so it's kind of a mishmash of a lot of the tactics genre. But again, you see the B, C, and A and everything. I believe there's even S ranks. So as far as I understand it, that's essentially just your chance to increase in the your chance to boost skills at every level. So HP is obvious, physical attack's obvious, physical defense is obvious, magic attack and defense, accuracy, all those are pretty obvious. Evasion is essentially your chance to dodge. Your crit rate is your crit rate, and guard rate is essentially your chance to block with a shield or whatever. And initiative again is explained. So pretty straightforward.
I can't fail my sacred mission.
I think you love it when you see a character that's like, oh yeah, hey, we got to level up, and we leveled up, and we boosted all the skills that are not your good skills. We got a C and 2 Ds. Well, I mean, I think Scarlet's got 2 Ds herself. I will not stop talking about it. They're just right there. Stop it. So here's the score screen, the result screen, whatever. You get a time bonus, all that. And it shows that score gives you war funds, honors, and renown. Each are important in their own right.
What foolishness is this? One such as I, brought low by the Cornea vermin that gnawed our ankles.
You've fallen far indeed, Hodrick. How many times did you stare death in the face at Her Majesty's side? Now, look what you've become. I may stand as your swordmaster no longer, but I can yet offer you a merciful end to your descent.
Wait.
Your Highness.
Tell me, Hodrick, do you remember the times you and I played together? When I was still just a boy? Yours was a bond of loyalty few knights could hope to equal. Why cast that aside and bend the knee to Galerius?
He's just so cool.
Without first knowing how we've reached this grim conclusion. A simple reason is all I ask. Please.
Elaine!
The ring! What sorcery is this?
Yep, that's right. It's a mind control story. I know. So we're treading bold new ground.
A spell to shackle the hearts of men.
'Tis the only way I can think to describe it, my prince. That ill-fated day, all the lords closest to your mother turned upon her without so much as a moment's notice. Unfortunately, my memories end there as well.
A frightful power, if what you say is true. This spell of control, it could be called. Such magic would go far in explaining how Galerius...
Stop spelling it that way. Oh my god.
I shudder to think what unspeakable evil I wrought upon our world these last 10 years. Though there is no greater misdeed than turning my spear upon you, Prince Elaine.
That's enough. You mustn't blame yourself any further. But I do wonder, how is this ring capable of...
That ring does not look like it's sitting in the character's hand. It just, the art is really just...
A symbol of your birthright.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right.
To think the power of cleansing truly exists. Your Highness, that is the Ring of the Unicorn, ancestral treasure of Cornea's royal lineage. Legend speaks of your ancestors wielding it to purify evil, but I had believed such tales to be mere fiction.
The Orthodoxy has a similar story about the Holy Unicorn. How it was a sacred beast able to purge darkness from our lands. It's entirely possible that the ring that bears its image is somehow capable of that same power.
should Galerius's rule be built upon a foul sorcery that fetters our people, then this ring is the ray of light that will pierce its wicked heart.
Your words ring true, my prince.
Indeed. Were we able to free those bound by his cruel magics?
It might just bring the Iron Wall of Zenoira crashing down.
All told, I've often found myself plagued with doubt. Is it justice that guides our march, or paltry vendetta? Yet the answer is clear as day now. The path before us is laid bare, and all that remains now is to walk it. Walk it I will, Mother. Today marks our first foray into the mists of despair which hang heavy over our home. Mists that will soon be dispelled. It may take days, months, or even years, but I shall see the duties of my bloodline fulfilled, and slay Galerius like the beast he is.
Okay, we're going to pause here because I have a paper I need to write, and I have put it off long enough. It's also due at midnight. I've got to write like 5 pages of a research paper. So, that's going to be fun. I think what I'm going to do is we'll do a part 2 to this demo, because there's still a little bit more I want to show, because, you know, we haven't gotten the full grasp of combat, the open world, because that's a thing in this game. Seriously, this game is really impressive, and I really do want to play this on the channel. It's just, again, scheduling is going to be really hard to fit it in somewhere. So again, I think I'm going to wait till the end of March, probably around the time that we also pick up Rise of the Ronin, to start this game proper. Sadly, so I have to miss launch day. Sorry, but again, that's just the way things are sometimes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting lost. I'm running through scheduling. Sorry, I've got a certification exam in a couple weeks. I've got the end of this semester, the start of the next semester, internships, and just it's oh boy. So yeah. So I'm busy, but again, I really want to play this game and give this game its due diligence, because this game really does look really cool. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, I'll do a part 2 to this demo either later tonight or tomorrow, depending on how much time I have tonight. So, that is the plan. Thank you so much for watching. Social media in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next one. Till then, guys, I'm out.